3, 2, 1.
Alrighty. Hello, welcome back. Powerhouse Marathons once again. We are here with Ninja Gaiden Black, and as you can see, the webcam is black. That's part of the joke. Funny. So today we have rzr360, and he's going to be running for us. And we have Major Richie commentating alongside that. So enjoy your run, guys, and best of luck. Take it away.
All right, so time will start in 3, 2, 1, go. So this first part's chapter 1.
All right.
Richie, you want to go over it?
Yeah, most of this run's mostly just movement. This chapter, starting up here, just getting up here. This game's mostly about, just getting up on ledges and there we go. Yeah.
Oh.
Good. So there's these two enemies up here. The most important thing about this run is movement. Once you conquer that, it's
Do you want to go over like our movement options?
yeah, like right here. Did a wall run. 1 second, wait.
All right, well, so movement options are pretty much going to be running, jumping, and rolling. So I'll use a combination of those to try to get through the areas on a horizontal plane. And then there's also wall running, which I'll use for vertical movement. It's pretty slow to try to get from one place to another, usually, unless you're going up. But it can be useful to avoid enemies, so sometimes we'll do it. And sometimes Ryu likes to just kind of cling to the walls. It sounds... someone's saying audio's repeating, I guess. Is everything on good? Oh, looks like my commentator left. Okay. So basically, every chapter is going to do kind of a similar thing for the goal, essentially. There's going to be somewhat of a puzzle to solve where I have to complete certain tasks, and then it's going to end in a boss fight. So in this chapter, I have to collect the key by first grabbing the teeth for the samurai statue, and then there's these fights that are going to happen in between as well. And basically this one is the white ninjas, the other one I did was the brown ninjas. And how these fights go kind of determine the pace of the chapter. And I have a couple goals that I need to set as well. I need money. There's how we get money is through yellow essence, and I'll kind of go over what the ways to get essence are later. But basically, you just need to defeat enemies. Mirai's giving me a lot of blocks, which isn't nice. Come on. Alright. So this is the first boss. He's no slouch. A lot of people actually struggled with him when this game first came out, because he is very hard. He blocks, he tech grabs, he reads your inputs. He's not a fun opponent to face casually. But we got him. Alright, so that's chapter 1 down. So the next chapter's kind of a little different. There's actually no puzzle to solve. So basically what happened is we find out that Mirai, the first boss, he's actually training Ryu. And after the training, after Ryu kills a bunch of ninjas during the training and then fights Mirai, we find out that Ryu's village is being attacked. So now we have to leave the dojo to go to the Hayabusa village. And so basically the first part of this is just trying to get there. So I'm just going to move back through a lot of these areas that I got up here through. Try to get back down so that I can get to the gate to the village. There was a cutscene that actually showed a character, her name is Ayane, opening the gate. If you had tried to go here before, then the gate would have been closed and you wouldn't have been able to get through. We also pick up a very important item. This is the first Nimpo item. It's the Art of Fire Wheels. We're not going to equip it just yet. We're going to equip it later. But Nimpo is very, very powerful, and we're going to use it throughout the run to make Ryu invincible and do a lot of damage. Then we're going to pick up these smoke bombs. What's up?
Your commentator said that the mic is a bit broken, so he's trying to fix that. We also got a donor of $20.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Do you want me to read the message?
Yeah, you can go ahead and read it.
Yeah, it's from Gala. Good luck with the run, Razor. You're an epic and an inspiration. Hope Alma will be friendly for your run today. Also, pirate you.
Yeah, thank you, Gala. Gala's a good friend of mine. She also runs Ninja Gaiden Black. She's a newer runner. Yeah, Alma. We'll go over Alma later as well. I don't want to talk about her right now.
Not to cut everyone off, we just got a $100 donation from Anonymous. $100 saying,
wow.
Razor, he's our guy. Go Razor. But thank you, whoever that was, and that officially puts us over $1,000 for the
awesome
marathon. $1,035.
Dang, that's it. That's stretch goal hit. Hell yeah.
Alright, so a couple things that just happened. I bought another Nimpo called the Art of Inferno, which I'm going to use in this fight. Basically what I'm trying to do is knock both of these horsemen down, because there's going to be two waves. I want to kill both of these guys at the same time, which didn't quite happen because it took too long, but that's okay. So if I did that right on time, then I could cast Inferno and kill these two horsemen at the same time. But instead, I just Inferno and, well, hope that Ryu targets this this horseman, but he didn't. So I just gotta wait for him for a sec, knock him off, and then finish him off that way. So I'll go over how we get money now because it's kind of relevant here as well. So I had 2,000 essence. I need at least 1,000 essence after chapter 1, and how I do that is getting yellow essence. I can guarantee I'll get yellow essence by using ultimate techniques. And there's two different charges for ultimate techniques. There's the initial charge called the essence technique, or ET, and then the full charge, which is a UT, which is a long animation where Ryu does a multi-hit combo. And so an ET gives me 3 times as much money as an enemy would normally drop, and a UT gives me 7. Alright. So we want to set it up so that I hit as many enemies as possible with an ET and get a lot of essence, or one enemy with a UT and get a ton of essence that way. Now that fight was Masakato. He's pretty much RNG heavy. He can block your arrows, or Ryu can just miss because Ryu kind of sucks at aiming on his own. And then if you ever don't look at those mages, they'll teleport at you like they did. But that was actually a pretty decent fight overall.
Could I interject a donation real quick?
Yeah, sure. Just got some cutscenes to skip through.
Cool. Mad One has come in with a $20 donation saying, "Zoom around like a ninja."
Thank you, Mad One. So a lot of the cutscenes that we skipped kind of show that what happened was Ryu's village was attacked by a greater fiend by the name of Doku. It was a black-clad samurai, and he finds out over the course of pretty much dying and being brought back to life that Doku works for the Emperor of the Holy Viger Emperor, or Empire, which is where we're going right now, which is why we're on an airship. But the Viger Emperor hears that a ninja is coming, so they decide to send their military to attack the airship to prevent the ninja from coming. Not sure how they heard about Ryu, but yeah, that's kind of what they did. So here, what I'm trying to do is actually something I did in chapter 1, which is pull an essence. I want to clear those ninjas, or clear those soldiers, but leave 1 essence behind. So I can use essence not only to get money, but also to charge my UTs like that. So it becomes an instant charge. And yeah, that's pretty much as best that this room can ever go. And I'm going to do the same thing here. You saw that I left that essence there in that room. I'm going to try to chain it to the next fight as well. So that way I can kill the enemies as quickly as possible. Because all of these enemies, they pretty much, except for the black soldiers, the white soldiers take 1 ET shot and they die instantly. The black ones can take a full UT, but I don't want to do that because that's slow. There is a way that we set it up to where we knock the black soldiers down and then use an ET to double hit them, and that will kill them immediately. So I have 1 essence floating, and then the black soldier is going to come down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Y counter him, which is going to send him in the air, knock him down, and then the ET is going to finish him off with a double hit. So in this chapter... Oh, go ahead.
You're good, but you're good.
So in this chapter, the main goal is I'm trying to get access to the top of the blimp, to trying to stop the military's constant invasion. So getting this ID card is the first step to that, and then the next step is going to be through here. But yeah, if there's something you want to talk about, or go ahead.
I was going to say, Mad One is asking in chat a specific question to you. Is there an incentive for rzr for getting a statue and getting close to estimates?
I mean, I have to get all of the statues. I'm not sure what Mad One's referring to with that, but oh, I get it. It means for getting a statue and getting close to estimate. So yeah, when I issued the estimate for this game, I wasn't as confident in it. My PB's gone down by about 20 minutes, I think, since then. Oh wait, maybe not 20, but like 15 minutes. It was like a little over 2 hours. Now I'm at 1 hour and 50 minutes. So that's probably what he's referring to. So we will probably be underestimate, unless something goes very, very wrong, which can happen. This game can screw you over pretty hard. And for getting a statue, if I did forget a statue, it would probably be close to estimate because they take a long time to get back. So that fight was, again, just chaining essence. This part's really cool. Basically, there's this soldier and he's hiding behind there. What I'm trying to do is knock him off by just kind of like rolling into him. It's actually a lot harder than it looks because if you just walk around that corner, he'll shoot at you. So you actually have to jump around the corner and then roll into him so that he doesn't have time to shoot you. And then, yeah, the walking across the wire is, it takes a long time. We try to avoid being on this wire as much as possible by jumping as late as possible, which is also kind of risky because if you fall here, you just instant die. There's no using your talisman of rebirth or anything like that, which is why I saved. Oh, go ahead.
If I could say again, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, so I'm sorry to one of your community, but Ken Daichi, he gave $10 saying, rzr's favorite mod, like to donate for a good cause.
Thanks, Ken. Yeah, Ken's a good guy. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to equip some other weapons. So we're going to equip the smoke bombs we got in Chapter 2, as well as the lunar. And we're going to equip fire wheels, because we're going to use those for the next boss fight. Which is going to be coming up very shortly. You'll see me collecting items as we go. Most of those, there's blue potions and there's red potions. The blue potions are for healing. The red potions are to recoup Nimpo. So here, just gotta hit the switch. If I try to go up that ladder, then it just sends Ryu back up and down. So it's very slow. So now we're just gonna go ahead and climb up the ladder. We're gonna give a nice view of Ryu from the front. Get those, try to get those eyes, but he tries to hide them. Wants to be as nondescript as possible, you know. So, smoke bombs are a really useful item. They allow us to kind of extend our iframes from rolls, and cancel out the recovery animation from rolls as well. I messed that one up. That's okay. So you don't want to get grabbed by Dynamo. He's very annoying. So what I'm trying to do is just XY Dynamo, use fire wheels, and that will do a lot of damage to him. And I want to use the smoke bombs to, like I said, cancel the recovery animation of the roll, but also to distract Dynamo. So that way he won't shoot at me from point blank, or if he tries to shoot, he'll shoot where the smoke bomb is, not where Ryu's at. And yeah, that's chapter 3 down. So 2600 essence is really good since I already had 1000 essence left over still. So I have plenty of essence for the next chapter. So I don't actually have to worry too much about getting any from the soldiers here. Because money is pretty much tight up until this chapter, as long as everything goes right. There's very few opportunities for it to go wrong though, and there's a lot of backups, so we should be all right on that. A lot of this is going to be movement and then fights. In fact, there's one fight coming up here. So these fights are pretty simple for the most part. They're actually just pretty much spawn camping. So if you're a Call of Duty fan, then you probably hate me, but that's okay. And that soldier running around there doing a circle was kind of funny. I've never seen him do that before. Normally he either shoots at you or runs at you. And he looked like he was about ready to shoot and decided not to, and then didn't know what to do anymore. Alright. So here I actually have to switch back to Inferno for the next fight. And so we entered the city of Tehran from the airship, and this is where the seat of the Holy Vigor Emperor sits. So we're trying to get access to his castle so that we can find Doku and get revenge for destroying our village, and also for stealing the Dark Dragon Blade, which is in the intro cutscene, which we skipped, is an evil blade that has the power to pretty much destroy the world. So we kind of want that back, and Ryu's the one who's tasked to protect it as the heir to the True Dragon Sword. So here we come up these ladders to get this item. This is the Spirit of the Devils, very powerful item. So Nimpo is very strong in the speed run, and Spirit of the Devils give us an additional Nimpo slot. I'm going to be trying something a little bit later with it, and hopefully it works, and it'll be really cool so that I can do this run in a particular route. But now it's just going to be movement again until we get to the shop portion. So if any donations or any announcements want to be made, this is a good time. So here we have a Great Devil Elixir and then a lever, which is going to open the door down below. Oh, go ahead.
Update you and your commentator. He managed to shatter his Blue Yeti cable, unfortunately.
Ah, okay. That's all right. It happens. Okay. So yeah, so we get to Han's Bar, which is what our goal was, and we find out we can't get into Han's Bar without a ticket. And so Ryu needs to go find a ticket. Even though he could probably take the bouncer, Ryu decides to be a good guy and not do that. So find out Muramasa is giving a ticket away if you buy something from him. So just so happens we want to upgrade our sword, and I'm going to buy a few extra healing potions as well. And so yeah, he gives us a ticket to Han's Bar, and now... Alright, so it didn't work. That's okay. There's a way that I can actually dupe the Spirit of the Devils. There's another one that I'll pick up in the run, so we'll try it again then. It's kind of tricky, so if we don't get it, it's totally fine. This run is very doable without it. I never get hit here. That's marathon luck. These cutscenes, we get introduced to another character in the game. This is Rachel. You didn't get to see her. She's not the dinosaur. That's Rachel. She kills that dinosaur. Is the only one she kills. And then tells us about her sad backstory. But we don't have time to listen to it because Ryu's on a mission. So we're just going to skip through it. So that was chapter 4. Now we're moving on to chapter 5, the City of Fiends. This is funny, this chapter is called the City of Fiends because there's actually no fiends in it until the end of the chapter. But yeah, beginning of this, we're just gonna kind of go through a lot of areas. We picked up a key, which lets us open a door that was previously locked to us, which accesses another area to the city. Which leads to the drawbridge, and then we have to lower the drawbridge to get across and find our way to the monastery, because that's where we hear about an underground passage that leads to the castle for the Holy Vigor Emperor, which is again our main goal in the game, is to get to him or get to Doku, get the Dark Dragon Blade and get revenge for our village. So we'll be coming back to that tunnel in a second and try to do it in a different way, but now if there's a couple soldiers that are down on the edge end of this, but as long as I don't look at them, they won't shoot me. So, you know, the whole out of sight, out of mind kind of thing works for ninjas really well. Okay, well, that was kind of bad. So yeah. So normally the enemies have to be gone in order for me to open this door. So the game kind of wants you to kill them. But if I do my smoke bombs properly, then the enemies will be too far away behind me to so I can open the door and pull the lever even without having to deal with them at all. But if I miss it, it's fine. I can deload them by just crossing the line and moving back over it very quickly, and they won't respawn. It's not a big deal. It's just a couple seconds, but next is just a bit of movement again. We try to keep in a straight line as best as we possibly can, and getting to the corners as best as we possibly can. Another bit of tech movement that I didn't mention earlier is on landing jumps. Those we'll use whenever we're going up stairs or at an incline, because it's actually faster to do an on landing jump in that way. And then here I just spawn camp the first two, and then use an UT to kill these two guys, but for some reason that guy didn't get caught up in it, which is fine. And then I want to equip the Dragon Sword and Shurikens, because I'm going to use those for first fight and then the boss fight coming up after that. Leveling up the Dragon Sword also gave me access to a couple new techniques, and it makes it do a lot more damage. So one of the techniques I'm going to be using on the boss, coming up here in just a second, which I'll discuss. But first, these are the first fiends that Ryu fights. So for this fight, I'm going to be using Inferno on one of the fiends, or two of the fiends, and then killing them with an XY combo. And then the last fiend, I'm going to do 2 UTs with the essence dropped from the first two, and then XY. Then Rachel, appears having done nothing in the fight and gets captured by Hydrocubus, this big tentacle monster. And so we're trying to free Rachel from inside of a... Oh, that's actually really good. I want that. So getting that there means I can do this fight a little differently. So the technique I'm doing here is XYXXX, and it sends Ryu into the air and does this huge long combo and does a lot of damage to Hydrocubus. So the other forms of essence that I'll mention as well right now are blue and red, which you saw me get a red there. Blue gives Ryu healing, red essence gives Ryu Nimpo. As I said, Nimpo's very powerful, so anytime we get a red essence, we want to try to get it if we can. Now we meet another character. We actually would have met him earlier in a cutscene we skipped, which is Gamov. And there's also another character there, is the Dark Disciple. They're not really important at all, so we're not going to worry about them. So now we're at Chapter 6. This is one of the most difficult RNG chapters in the game. There's a lot of fights here, and the enemies are very annoying. And the movement is very, very tight. So this is a chapter that a lot of people lose a lot of time to. So we're going to try to collect more Devil Elixir, because we're going to use a lot of Nimpo in this chapter. And that's going to help us kind of clear through the enemies in a quick way. So this is the first fight. This is the archive room fight. If this goes right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock the first monk down, which is this flying enemy, and then cast Fire Wheels. And then the second monk's going to spawn either on top of me or close, which he did, which is fine. And I accidentally absorbed the essence. So these are Shadow Fiends. They're very annoying enemies. They can dodge like that. So if they get really dodgy, then what I do is I just try to Y counter them, and then you'd see them. Next, we're going to pick up another projectile weapon. These are the incendiary shurikens. They're a very powerful weapon for this part of the game. The first part doesn't do a lot of damage, but then they explode to do a ton of damage. So we're going to utilize them actually right now, because we need to break this wall. This is another thing that they're very useful for, is breaking these walls. So that fight's not necessary, because we can open the door, and then we're going to come in here. So to the monk's room. This room is the most notorious in the speedrun. It is absolutely horrendous. No one likes this room. So we get the book, door locks, monks spawn in. So I'm going to just try to throw shurikens at them and hopefully hit them. If he teleports, then he can actually avoid taking the damage, so I don't want him to teleport. So I cleared all the monks, which are the annoying enemies, or the most annoying enemies. Both, honestly, all of these enemies are very annoying. I didn't want to absorb that. That's okay. All right, could have gone worse. 17 seconds left on Monk Room is not the greatest, but it's okay. So actually during that cutscene with the door, you can actually move during that. So here, gonna pick up another Great Devil Elixir, and then place the book on this altar, which is gonna reveal the underground passage that we heard the rumors about. Restock on some incendiaries, and this is a part where on landing jumps become very important. So there's these spikefall traps. Normally if you land on them you get hit. Well, it just so happens that when Ryu's in the air, he's got invincibility frames, and for one of the frames when he touches the ground, he maintains those invincibility frames. So if we do a frame perfect jump, by pushing the stick forward and pressing the jump button at the same time as Ryu lands, then we get an on-landing jump, which extends the iframes, making Ryu completely invulnerable to the spikes. So you saw I landed on the spikes a couple times but didn't take damage. I did take damage from the pillar. That's because I ran into it. So I'm going to save here as well. This chapter can be very annoying. And then there's this kind of jump right here that I want to do. That's very scary because if you miss, then you die immediately. Just instant death. There's not very many spots where you instant death in this game, so I'm gonna save it pretty much before every single one of them. Because normally I have a Talisman of Rebirth, and if an enemy were to kill me or reduce my health by a trap of some kind, then oh, that's not okay. Then I would use my Talisman, which would be totally fine because I can actually get another one later. But if there's hazards that do it and I die automatically, then that's not okay. So it should note that the continues in this game continue you from your last save point. So if I don't make a save point at all during a run and I just instant die, then I have to like start over from chapter 1, which is automatic reset. Here we get the Vigorian flails. These are actually really only useful in this chapter. So I'm going to go ahead and equip them as well as use one of those, which is a great devil, or one of the normal devil elixirs. So my hope here is that I get a red essence drop. So I want to wait until they kind of run into me. I didn't get a red essence drop, which is fine, so I can just use another one. Inferno has 2 damage ticks. The initial one when you cast it, and then one where Ryu shoots the explosion. So I want to wait for those bugs to charge at me so that they die to the initial damage shot, and then hit whatever one left over. So I'm going to use a Great Devil Elixir here because I'm actually going to cast a bunch of Nimpo in a second. So basically, I want to try to hit these zombies with the UT from the Vigorian flails. The last 3 hits from the UT will actually kill any of the zombies. So getting a bunch there is pretty good. And they're actually bunching up pretty well for me here. I might not even have to use the Nimpo. But using the elixir is totally fine because I'll use it in the next fight anyway. This one I want to not... I want to kill normally because I'm okay with getting a blue essence from him. I want to float his essence. I don't want to absorb the other ones. But if I can absorb some essence there and get some money, that's really good. So when we go up this elevator, now we have some normal zombies instead of the Shadow Fiends. So the first part, I'm just going to UT this one. Try to position myself in a way that these two will get closer together. And then Inferno, right as the timer hits a certain point. So that way I kill these 2 zombies. Ideally you kill all 3, but sometimes the other one doesn't get away, which is totally fine. I only need to kill the 2 special ones. Because normally the button isn't active unless those 2 are dead. Oh, jumped a little too early there. I'm gonna kill these bats too. If I climb up this ladder, these bats can totally ruin your day. They will just tear you to shreds. And if they consume your talisman on the ladder, funnily enough, you soft lock the game. You just stands there, can't do anything, doesn't take damage, can't open the menus, can't do anything. So now we got to get back up the spiral before we just jump down, which is super easy. But now there's these skeleton archers, and as long as they're not too mean, I can just kind of get past them, which they were very nice to me. They can shoot you off back to the bottom, and you have to start all over from the bottom, which is very annoying. Also very notorious. Chapter 6 has a lot of, like I said earlier, it has a lot of RNG. It's a very notorious chapter. And then now we're going to be coming up on the boss fight, which is Bone Dragon. He's a cool boss fight. I like his design. He's terrible for the speedrun, though. He's got a lot of really bad attacks. This is a good attack. I'm okay with that attack. Anytime he swipes his tail, lifts his arm off the platform, or moves his head into for a bite, that's bad. So yeah, this is bad. We don't like that. But because I have an impo, I can Inferno during it, which gives me iframes during the tail swipe, and then once the tail swipe ends, I can hit him with the blast, which deals a lot of damage to him. So yeah, that's him lifting his foot off the platform. Don't like that. So I'm using a combination of XXY and XYY to deal damage to him. XXY does a really fast combo, and XYY deals a lot of damage, and it avoids those bone shards most of the time. It's also giving me a bite. You could have just done the bones one more time, but you had to try to bite me. That's alright though. That's chapter 6. Now we go to chapter 7. Chapter 7 also has a lot of bad RNG, but not nearly as much as chapter 6. Up until the end, which is one of the fan favorite boss fights of the game, which is Alma. And I guess I can talk about Alma now. She is very annoying. She flies around, she shoots stuff at you, and she can just avoid your attacks. So our strategy for dealing with her is to try to knock her down, and do a combo that kind of lifts her up into the air and knocks her down again, and then use Inferno to try to shoot her out of the air instead of trying to hit her again, because hitting her can be very, very painful. But first, before we get to Alma, we're gonna have to deal with a blue room and a red room. There's actually a common theme amongst the game where there's blue and red things that you have to oh, that's not good. Okay, I did the wrong thing. That's all right. I can just get some money from these guys. Give me 1 second. So normally I'm supposed to upgrade the dragon sword there. Let's see, that should be enough. Nope, it's not. I gotta kill one more. But I accidentally upgraded the lunar. Totally fine. Just get some money. And there we go. Easy save. And I'm gonna buy some extra incendiaries because I had to use quite a few there. So the first room, the blue room, is actually pretty easy. There's normally a puzzle that you kind of have to, or there's normally this like eye thing you can kind of see right there. Normally you're supposed to shoot that with the bow, and it summons a platform for you to run across to get to the to these guys. But we don't care about that. We're just gonna do some platforming and get up here. And yeah, level 3 Dragon Sword gives me access to a very, very powerful technique called Gleaming Blade, which is that spin attack that you saw. I'm gonna be using that pretty often throughout the run. It deals a ton of damage, hits a lot of enemies, and also does UT charges. So I can get more money from doing it, and it... yeah, it's a very useful attack, which is why I absolutely needed to get it there. So the red room, this one's a little trickier. There's already this platform here. So what I'm going to try to do is throw these incendiaries at these guys as I go. And hopefully they don't shoot me off, which they didn't. Which is very nice. Alright, so that was a pretty good red room. Those, again, the zombies can shoot you off this platform, and if they do, you either have to start over or try to do an even harder jump than the blue room's jump. So getting through there with 70 seconds left on the timer is actually really good. Should be full on those now. I'm actually going to swap to fire wheels for this fight as well. Hopefully I get a red drop from it. If I don't, that's totally fine. I picked up the devil elixir. Getting hit out of the air by this guy is annoying. But yeah, it's Hydrocubus again. This is the... oh my gosh. Second fight. So yeah, you see Gleaming Blade. Oh, sick. Deals a ton of damage. So now we're just trying to do Flying Swallow again, which is the jump attack, and then we're gonna pick up whatever essence he gives us and charge a fully charged Gleaming Blade. Which, yeah, he just melts him. That will not be the last Hydrocubus we fight either, unfortunately. Wow, he gave me 2 red essence. That's okay. That's annoying. I would rather have those somewhere else. So I'm actually going to swap back to Inferno and use that Lives of the Thousand Gods as well. This is the 3rd pickup I've gotten of these. This extends Ryu's health bar, if you didn't notice. And then this item I also need, which is the Jewel of the Demon Seal, which I'll go over later. So here we just got a bit of movement. Another kind of puzzle. It's more like a platforming puzzle. Ninja Gaiden Black is considered like an action hack and slash game, but it's also very much a platformer. You try to get from A to B to C to D to E throughout like the entirety of the game, so you can pick up these items, and a lot of them are key items. Some of them are just useful items as well. And the bat's doing a lot of damage. Okay. So my health is low, but I'm alright on it, and I have a ton of healing, so I'll probably use a healing potion right now, in fact, because the ninjas that I have to fight now are very mean. These are spider ninjas. You see me run past them a lot. This is the first time you really have to fight any. They are much more annoying than the Shadow Fiends, but I want them to get close to me so that I can just Gleaming Blade them like that, which is actually perfect. That was a really good room. Yeah, even if I don't hit them with like the full Gleaming Blade, then they still just die. So yeah, now this is Alma, so I'm gonna try to knock her down immediately, which I didn't do. Okay, got her there. And she didn't go up into the air with me, which sucks. And then Ryu hits the pillar. Alright, she gets knocked down again. So yeah, that's the combo I want to do. You saw, like, she kind of, like, took a little tick as well. When she goes down, that doesn't guarantee she'll get hit by the Inferno, but it makes it a lot easier for some reason. We're not sure why. Some of us think there's, like, a hidden armor value, which determines whether or not Alma, like, gets hit or not, but no one really knows why, and without, like, a PC port of this game, we'll probably never find out. Okay, she's trying to be really cheeky to me now. Okay. I can't see. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Alright, yeah, so she's being really annoying. Alright, that's Alma down. Yeah, so if she goes right, then I just knock her down 4 times with the Inferno. She gave me a pretty bad pattern towards the end there. Ryu hitting the pillar one of the times is not very fun either, but she could have been a lot worse. Having any time on the timer left is actually kind of nice. So now Tehran military is on alert, so we have to deal with the Tehran military and also find another way into the castle since going underneath the monastery didn't seem to work. So we find out about a train depot, and that's kind of where we need to head. We got these soldiers that come in now, and we're going to spawn camp them too. So the first wave we're going to take out with the Gleaming Blade, and then the next wave the first wave we're going to take out with the Inferno. And then we're going to use the essence from the first wave to charge a Gleaming Blade to take out the next wave as they come in. And one thing that I neglected to do during Alma's fight was equip the bow. So you see this helicopter that's flying around in the background. The helicopter is Ryu's girlfriend. The helicopter loves Ryu a lot. At least the helicopter thinks so, but Ryu doesn't feel the same way. So he's going to shoot the helicopter with the bow. The helicopter's like, oh, just like Cupid, and Ryu's like, get away from me. But first, we got to get past all the soldiers. They're the ones who are really in love with the helicopter, but helicopter only has eyes for Ryu. I'm going to pick up this health potion, which I passed earlier, because I had to use a few on Alma. So yeah, if there's any more donations that come up, like, you can go ahead and read them at this point. I'm just running around now. Alright, so this fight, there's 2 soldiers on turrets. I shoot them with 3 arrows. And that takes them down, and then the helicopter comes out to play. Which, shooting the helicopter with 4 arrows makes it embarrassed and decide to leave. So then we pick up some more arrows because we used them all. And then we're going to wait. We're going to look at this nice window. It's a very fancy window. You see it's open, unlike all of the other windows. Yeah, because it's special fancy. Oh, hey, there's a soldier there. It's a good thing we were looking. So yeah, we take that soldier down with the bow. Then we see, hey, there's something else in there that looks really cool. Looks like a bow, but bigger. So might be neat checking out. I equip smoke bombs because there are 3 soldiers in there and they will mess you up. Pick up this healing potion as well. Thank you, Alma. Oh. So now we're coming to this apartment complex where that soldier was, and we get this really cool thing called the strongbow. We're like, Ayane, your bow's too weak, and we're gonna get this strongbow instead because it looks cool. So one thing about the bow versus the strongbow, the bow has arrow drop, like bullet drop. The strongbow doesn't, so I can just shoot things really far away. So it is required in order to continue in the game. I can swap it back to the neutral bow if I want right there, but strongbow also does a lot more damage. So there's not really any reason to do that unless you're going for like a challenge or something. And so this is a pretty short chapter. It's just kind of going through doing that stuff to try to get to the military base. And then the next chapter has some of the cooler tech in the game. One of my favorite skips, in fact. And it looks really cool. Hopefully I get it for Stry and then everyone can pog out. But in the meantime, till we get there, we just got some more running around and some more soldiers who are in our way. So one of the cool things about this game, and a few things that I love about this game, like I absolutely love this game. I think it's the best game ever. But the music is absolutely top notch. The action is absolutely top notch, and like the movement always feels like really good. Like I'm bad at the movement, and it still feels really good, and I think looks pretty cool. And so just makes this game even better to me. Okay, Ryu. Sometimes, okay, so one of the things that I don't like about this game, though, is the interact button and the attack button are bound to the same key. So, like, sometimes when you want to try to do something instead of attack, Ryu thinks you want to attack because he's bloodthirsty and wants to kill everything. Yeah, first try, Pogs. So this is the train depot skip. Basically what I'm normally what you have to do is turn on the electricity and then activate these platforms so that you can get up here. But with a little bit of clever platforming and use of shurikens, I can actually just get up here without having to turn on the electricity, which is really, really nice because after you turn on the power, a bunch of drones spawn and they come to shoot lasers at you. So we come in here to get the key card so that we can open the shutter gate, which is over here. I'm actually going to equip the explosive arrows now. So Ryu's got some better arrows. And we're going to use the key. Now this fight is really cool because the enemies will do absolutely nothing if I do it right. I mean, well, they will run at Ryu and that's it. As long as I stand in one spot, the enemies, they kind of just like derp out and are like, hey, let's get to him. And we just kind of stand here and shoot them as they come in. And as long as I don't miss too many shots, then it's pretty straightforward. Just there are 11 enemies total. So once I kill the 11th, then I just go about my business. And there we go. So one thing I'll mention that I haven't mentioned yet is the karma timer on the left. So I use that to kind of gauge how fast either a fight went and how many enemies I have left in the fight. So these, I picked up some armor-piercing arrows. Don't ask. But yeah, they're going to shoot through the armor of this tank. Normally this box will protect you from these blasts, but if the tank comes up too close, then you kind of don't have a choice but to dodge by jumping. You can just jump over the explosions, by the way. So this tank being here is not in a good spot. So I'm trying to Inferno to avoid the first shot. And I'm actually going to heal because that guy's shooting a lot at me. I want the tank to move left now. Yeah, see, that shot would have hit me. It would have just been a little too far. But yeah, the last shot gets blocked by the box. So that box is indestructible. If those tanks shoot that box, then it doesn't do anything. But if they shoot behind the box at Ryu, then I gotta avoid it. So they gave me a pretty bad pattern shooting at Ryu a lot. Because if it goes right, then I don't have to jump at all. Here we just shoot these guys with the armor piercing arrows. And then our girlfriend, the helicopter's back. Ryu's got some stronger arrows this time, so he's gonna try to show her that, you know, he's not interested. Alright, so we're gonna use this box to dodge the rockets from the helicopter, and there we go, took it down. Alright, I'm still kind of low on health, and the next part I can take a lot of damage. I'm gonna heal again, and re-equip the explosive arrows. I'm gonna be using them throughout the next chapter, so it's better just to equip them now. Because it doesn't matter which ones you use for this part. You can use either. But because, like I said, the next chapter is coming up, we want to use them a lot, so just equip them now. And then here we're trying to take out this cell tower so that we can get access to the train control station. Now these soldiers, they can be very annoying. They can throw grenades at you, which knocks Ryu out of shooting with the bow. Otherwise, normally they can't really do anything because they won't ever get into melee with you unless you move. So as long as they don't throw grenades, I'm happy. This part looks really cool. If I do it right, hopefully I don't die. Wow. Okay. Thank you. All right. Normally you're supposed to open the door without getting shot at, but they shot me so late there, which was very scary. Yeah, I've actually never seen them shoot that late before. Normally they shoot when Ryu's still like on the wall, but they waited till I jumped off of it. But yeah, finishing up from the train depot under an hour is pretty cool, and it looks like I'm on track to doing that with 55 minutes on the clock. And I literally can't die, so here I'm just going to jump towards them to move them closer to each other, and then use Inferno. I'm gonna let them heal me though, because I don't want to risk getting shot by the next group. But yeah, so you might be wondering, why didn't you kill them the first time and get the key? Well, the key doesn't spawn until I enter this room. Normally, the game wants you to just progress, go into this room, find out it's locked, and be like, oh crap, well, where do I go? Only way to go is back. You see the soldiers again, and next time they drop the key. But yeah, I don't have to deal with any of those soldiers or any of that. I can just move past them, check the door, get in, and then go back, grab the key, and pass on through. So now, Ryu's going to crash the train into a wall. Really cool cutscene. We're not going to look at any of it. But you'll see the aftermath of it right at the beginning of the next chapter. So yeah, you can see the train behind us. This is a really good part. If you guys have any announcements about the marathon or anything you guys want to say, we got about 40 seconds before anything happens, because it's just waiting. This is kind of like a loading screen. It's really dumb.
Well, I did want to. We don't have any updates for donations. I just want to say thank you to everybody that has donated today, all 3 days. We've definitely. Our original goal was $350, and right now we've tripled that. And so I want to just thank everybody
Awesome.
for their extreme generosity. And even if you haven't donated, you're spending your time here with us, giving encouragement to all the runners and staff. So thank you so much, everybody that's just hanging out and having a good time, donating to a great cause.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Also, these monsters look scary.
Yeah, so these are upgraded Shadow Fiends. They're pretty much the same. They just have more health and do more damage, but they have like the same AI and the same movesets as the other ones, so they're just as annoying. But comparatively, like when I fought the other ones, I had a level 2 Dragon Sword. Now I have a level 3, so the Shadow Fiends are really not much of an issue. They have bigger friends, which are called crabs. The crabs are the most annoying version of them, which we will see them in this run. They are in this difficulty, and I don't want to deal with them. So here we pick up the insect key, and we're gonna go on to a mini boss. Now, for a lot of people's like casual playthroughs of this game, I heard a lot of people like rage quit at this boss. This boss is very dumb. This is the worm. Shooting lightning is slow. We don't want him to shoot lightning. We want him to just do that slam attack, so we can punish it right away. Anytime he shoots lightning, I'm losing time because there's not really like much I can do. I can shoot him for like chip damage, and I mistimed the roll there, which is fine. But doesn't really do much, to be honest. What I really want to do is charge an ET and hit him with that. Once his health is low enough, I can just finish him off with a Flying Swallow, though. And then that puts me towards the end of the arena. In an optimal fight, you wouldn't actually have a chance to do the Flying Swallow, because he'll just slam down repeatedly, and you can do a UT or an ET into a Gleaming Blade, and dies very quick that way, but he decided to shoot lightning at me and be a jerk overall, which is fine. So here we get the red stream tablet. So like I said, there's a lot of themes of like red and blue, or like one or the other, like 2 or 3 things that you have to pick up for key items throughout the game. So the tablet's going to be put into these spots, and it's going to lower the water. The first room that I entered when I came down here was called the Hall of Balance, where there's like this statue. We saw what we're trying to do is we're trying to push the water into the sides of the statue so that it moves, and when the statue moves, it'll open the door that's behind it, and that'll let us progress to the next area. So right now we're just trying to collect these tablets so we can lower the water levels. The first tablet allows us to also open this door right here. Normally there'd be water pressure against it, so that we can get the statue of this water spirit. And that's going to open the door that leads to the second tablet. Now, this one I'm actually going to save before, because the mini boss coming up here is another very annoying one. Much more annoying than the first mini boss of this area, and you'll see why in a moment. But let me just say, a lot of people who got past the first mini boss of this area, if they rage quit this game, they probably rage quit at the second. So just go through these caverns real quick, and we're coming up on the mini boss right now. So if you hadn't guessed it, this mini boss is 2 worms. So the first boss wasn't fun enough for you. You get to fight 2 of them and back to back. And awesome, 3 spits. That's like the worst RNG. He can do 1 to 3, and 3 is annoying. So yeah, this is how the fight should go. ET into Gleaming Blade, and that should kill him, which is nice. I didn't get a chance to charge the ET before this guy decides to do an action, which is fine. The other guy dropped a blue, so I got a UT, which I don't want. Alright, and that put Ryu too far away. Stop shooting. Okay. Hit him. What are you doing? Whatever. That's fine. I don't know why Ryu wasn't hitting there. Just kind of like flailing around in the air. He was like right underneath him. But that's alright. I'm going to pick up this blue just for the health. Because I don't want to heal if I don't have to. If I do heal, I want to use small ones because I need to save these big ones. Oh, I'm actually full on big ones, so never mind. I thought I was 1 short. So yeah, I will do that. That's all right. I want to try to keep as many big ones as I possibly can. What are you doing? Ryu. Okay, corner. Thank you. All right, so yeah. You can just get up that corner by wall jumping continually into it, which also saves you from spawning a bunch of enemies and going around. It's very minor, but it's a good time save. But about like 2 seconds maybe. So I want to try to avoid jumping in here in some spots because the walls are very weird. Ryu likes to target pillars with his jumps as well. So those wooden pillars in there, Ryu will, instead of like jumping past them, he'll jump towards them and try to wall run up them. Which wall running up when you're trying to go forward is not good. Pick up some of these for some extra buffers. I can use explosives just like incendiaries to break these walls. So I'm going to do that here because I still need the bow for one more thing. So now we have both the tablets. I gotta go place the second one so I can open the door. And get to the final area. It's right over here, which just so happens Muramasa has a shop set up here, which is perfect because we actually need to buy some more stuff. So this is another part where money is very important. So having enough to upgrade the Lunar to level 3 and also have 10 elixirs of life is like kind of perfect. That's exactly where you want, because the next chapter we're going to be using a lot of the great elixirs. And the chapter after that, we're gonna kind of want to save them as well as we pick them up. So the having normal elixirs, having a lot of those is very helpful. This is a fiend challenge, which is why the timer is so high. We're just gonna ignore it. Normally, you kill a wave of like 60 enemies and get a huge prize, but we don't have time to do that either. Instead, we just go ahead and jump onto that little platform over there to open the door. So, if you remember earlier, I shot some of these eyes. I got another one here. You can use explosives just the same as regular arrows. This is another really cool skip. Saves a few seconds. It's actually kind of tight to do as well. You have to time the X in the air to get Ryu to have enough height where he's not too high that he pushes against the platform. I'm gonna save here, and I'm gonna try to go for the dupe, which is another reason why I got so many. Alright, well, I got one, which is good. So, you see, I consumed the Spirit of the Devils, or I tried to, and then it gave me the Nimpo slot, but I still had the Spirit of the Devil in my inventory. And that lets me get an additional slot. Having one additional slot actually saves a lot of time, because the second to last chapter requires a lot of Nimpo. And if you don't have the slots, well, then you got to worry about red drops. So having the extra Nimpo slot means I have to worry less about red drops. Alright, so that was Pazuzu. He was pretty nice. If he starts jumping around, he can be a real pain in the butt, but him staying planted means that I kind of just get a free kill on him. So this is the most chill chapter in the run. It's kind of nice during a speed run because it's kind of like a moment to just catch your breath. This game is very high impact, high octane, very fast the whole time. Nice, Ryu, thank you. That was very cool. But this one we just kind of swim. It's all that's really going to happen until the end of the chapter. So one of the most boring chapters, though, does end on one of the greatest boss fights, in my opinion. So that'll be cool. So hopefully you all stay awake to get there, because yeah, this part is not exciting. There's not really much to talk about either. There is actually one exciting part before the boss fight, and that's actually what we call the deep dive. But that's still like a little ways away before we see that. So yeah, we pick up the owl eye so we can see this gate combination that we can input, and because we're speedrunners and we cheat and we look things up before we play the game, we already know what the combination is, so it's kind of free for us. Normally you have to try to go and find it, but it's always the same, no matter what difficulty or anything like that. So something I should mention, the game has multiple difficulties. We're playing on normal, which is the standard difficulty. You don't need anything to unlock normal. That's what you have right away. In fact, it's the only difficulty you have when you first boot up the game. The other difficulties you have to unlock. The higher difficulties you unlock by beating the previous one, and there is a lower difficulty called Ninja Dog. You get that by dying 3 times in the same chapter. Ayane comes up and is like, hey, you're kind of bad at this, I should help you out, and you restart the game with everything in easy mode. So something I should note, while I'm swimming here, I'm constantly resetting the camera. This helps to turn Ryu at a sharper angle to get around these corners. Because you see the bar on my left-hand side, that's my oxygen bar. Normally, you're supposed to go collect the oxygen tank, and then Ryu can breathe indefinitely. But getting the oxygen tank is slow, swimming is faster. So I'd much rather just like swim around and then take a lot of damage. And then make sure that I heal. So that I don't die. So the thing is, though, dying to drowning is also considered a hazard death. So if I die while I'm swimming, or if I run out of air and I die from the swimming, then Ryu will just automatically die. Game over. No Talisman of Rebirth usage. So I'm going to make a save here because the next part is very scary. So here, I'm just gonna clear these guys so that they drop blues, so I get some free heals as well. All right, cool. Full health is really good. That's what I want. Yeah, I do that save after everything else so that if I do die on this part, then I don't have to redo a lot of it. Even though that save point is a little more out of the way than the other one. So this crevice we saw like right at the beginning in the opening cutscene for this chapter. It actually leads to a very familiar place. One of the greatest things about this game is how circular it is in the layout. Like there's revisits and everything. A lot of people actually compare this game to Dark Souls due to the difficulty, but it's also very Dark Souls 1-ish in that, like I said, everything is kind of built on top of each other. But the great thing is this game came out in 2006, long before Dark Souls came out. And honestly, for a game that came out in 2006, it looks absolutely incredible. Like it looks really good. It's aged very well. The gameplay is still relevant. It's an awesome game. I absolutely love this game. There is a Master Collection coming out. It's gonna have the Sigma version of this game, which is a different release, but it's still good. I think Ninja Gaiden Black is the best version. But it's supposed to be coming out in June 10th. So if anyone's ever interested in this game but you don't have an Xbox, then definitely recommend checking out the Master Collection for PC or any of the consoles. But yeah, this game is available on any Xbox, OG, 360, and the Xbox One series and the Xbox Series X off the digital store. So you see, I wait till my health gets really low as possible, and then I heal myself with a Great Spirit Elixir. It's funny, while Ryu's drowning in water, he just drinks some juice and is okay for a little bit. So yeah, this is the stressful part of this chapter. Making sure that I have enough heals to get through. If you heal too soon, then you run out and, well, you die. And that's no fun. So I'm also going to heal here because this is, in my opinion, it's one of the best boss fights in the game. It's very fun. It's also kind of rough. This is Doku. If you remember, he's the guy from the beginning that I told you about, the Greater Fiend who attacked your village, or Ryu's village. So now we're getting our revenge on him, and we're gonna do so by kind of just spamming this one attack. See, Doku doesn't know what to do when Ryu's in the air. Getting grabbed there is not fun though. So I'm just gonna spam fire wheels and try to get Ryu in the air using forward YY, and then extend it with X if I have to. And yeah, and Doku just kind of dies. The old strat we used to do to fight him was a lot scarier, which is where you would kind of spam Gleaming Blade and just pray that he didn't kill you. So a runner by the name of Digital T found this strat, and it's actually, not only is it way safer, it's actually faster than the Gleaming strat. Because as it happens, a level 3 Lunar also does a lot of damage. So now we have the most movement intensive chapter in the game, which is chapter 12. So that is actually very hard to do. You have to have your timing very tight there. If you jump too early into that corner or towards that ledge, then Ryu's not going to be high enough to get up there. So getting that first try I was actually very nervous about being able to do that in the marathon. So I practiced that for a lot today. And the rest of this chapter is heavily movement based because there's a lot of weird angles and corners that go into it. But throughout it, we're going to pick up these great spirit elixirs to recoup the ones we used in the last chapter for the swim. And we're going to be swapping weapons a lot because there's some walls that need to be broken and some fights. So like right here, I'm going to swap to Lunar, or back to Lunar. And then right back to Dragon Sword. Because Dragon Sword's better for some of the movement options. Like you saw what I did with the getting up to that platform was I kind of like threw shurikens and then did like a sword slam. There's 3 actions you can take in air, which is a normal attack, a heavy attack, and a projectile attack. So using projectiles will give Ryu a little bit more height with wherever he's at when you throw them. Using the Dragon Sword's normal attack, which is the spinning X called Air Destruction Slash, that will give Ryu a tad bit more distance. And then the in-air Y, which is called Helm Splitter, that gives Ryu the ability to kind of just like bump over ledges a little bit more. So a little bit more height as well. And that maybe it looks like he wouldn't normally get over. So we're gonna utilize that to kind of get to areas a little bit quicker than we should, or in a different way than the game would actually normally want you to. I'm actually gonna save here as well. There's a lot of spots in this part. This is the fire cavern. There's lava in it. And for some reason, Ryu absolutely loves lava. He likes to jump into it. He likes to take baths in it. And even though it hurts him, he just can't stay away. Oh my gosh. Thank you. So yeah. That's what I mean when I try to interact with something and Ryu decides to attack. That's very scary. I need to collect these iron ore because I need to make another medallion, like the one I used to open the door to get here. That one was pre-made, but I gotta make the next one. So we're gonna collect some of this iron ore. Ryu wants to pick it up and not attack things. And so the smelter that we're gonna go through is right in here. Normally you have to like go up that little like seesaw thing. But by using some clever platforming again with the shurikens and the X to gain distance, or Y to gain height, we can just get over here without having to go around. So yeah, movement in this game is very cool. It's like the absolute best part. That was a sick wall run as well. I don't always get that. Sometimes Ryu doesn't grab the wall, he just like jumps. Alright, so here I'm going to heal. Okay, that's... Alright. Normally, again, you're supposed to go around, but by doing a wall run with the air destruction slash, we can get up there without having to go around, which saves a lot of time. You take a little guaranteed lava damage there, but it's not a lot, so you're fine. Then we're going to come up to the first mini-boss of this area. She's very scary. She can do a lot of damage. She's kind of slow, though, so that's like the one thing about her that's okay. But her name is Jotunfrau. She looks like this like abominable snowman kind of thing. We know she's a female because Jotunfrau. Frau means woman in German. I think Jotun means like snow or something too. I don't remember exactly. That's not the attack I want. So sometimes she'll just idle like that, which is good. We want her to idle. Anytime she does, like, this attack is fine, but she's got one attack that makes her completely invincible, which is these ice lands. So the fact that I didn't get a single ice slam is really good. So we get the Eye of Ice, which is, you could equate to like the blue item in this chapter. And so we have to get one more eye. So we have one more mini boss, and it'll actually probably look a little familiar to you as well. Ryu, get out of the lava, please. Okay, there we go. Missing that is very sad, but it's okay. So yeah, we got the iron ore to make this cog to fit in the circular hole. No square pegs in this one, unfortunately, if you know that meme. Not gonna save before this boss because this boss is much safer than Jotunfrau. So picked up a final great devil elixir. So yeah, we have another worm. This one's a little different. It's a spicy worm. Spicy noodle, as we call him. And again, Ryu jumping into the lava, nothing new. And then going off to no man's land. But other than that, other than Ryu jumping into the lava and completely missing the gleaming blade, that was actually pretty good. So we get the Eye of Fire, get through this little platforming part, and move off to the final boss. I am gonna save before the final boss though. He can also be very mean. Alright, so yeah, we put the blue eye and the red eye into the statue door, and opens right up to this little field of lava. Which, so this is probably Ryu's favorite boss fight since he loves lava so much, and there's like a ton of it here. So he's gonna be very happy during it. Yeah, so this is Smaugin. He's a fire-breathing dragon. And we're gonna just run into him in the lava. We're gonna cast fire wheels on him. Him doing that while I'm in air is very annoying. So believe it or not, to the fire-breathing dragon, fire wheels does a lot of damage. That's not the item I wanted to use. Okay. I got to avoid that little fire wave though, or if he does fireballs, because that'll push like Ryu up out of the lava and back into it. And every time Ryu lands into the lava, he takes a lot of damage. So we kind of have to like mitigate it in that regard. So here I'm going to use the final Lives of the Thousand Gods that we get and equip Inazuma. Inazuma will pretty much use the rest of the game. There will be one more spot that will swap Nimbo, but Inazuma is very, very powerful, and we used it once already to clear out some of those mosquito fiends. Inazuma does a lot of damage to every single enemy within range, so when there's multiple enemies around, it's the best, because unlike Inferno, it doesn't have to like target or hit in an explosion shot. It just hits everything automatically. So here, you actually can't move for the first like couple seconds, so we just use that time to position the camera so that we can move with Ryu afterwards. There's a lot of weird like loading screens. What's funny is a lot of these loading screens, like that one and the one with like the fiends before going into the aqueducts, they're not in the higher difficulties of the game. Like, they're only in normal, with the exception of Sigma. In Sigma, those are there in Master Ninja instead. That part is a meme. So that was the Dark Disciple. I talked about him earlier. That's the first time you see him in the speedrun. And that's a huge meme in the community about where Ryu is. Because you always hear that line. There's not very many lines you actually hear throughout the game. So now we're just gonna actually be doing a lot of revisiting places that we've been before to try to get to where the next location is. So we found out about how this was pretty much all a dead end. But one of the things we found in the caverns was this tablet piece. Now I already picked up a tablet piece like really early on in the run. So once we have the second tablet piece, it actually talks about how we need all three. So we're gonna go pick up the third tablet piece, which was pretty much at the start, and that's gonna allow us to access the final area of the game. I have to lower the drawbridge. I don't know who keeps raising it. Like, Ryu's lowered it 3 times now. Whoever's raising it, they're, you know, kind of rude. I think they know. So if I had lost my talisman at any point during this run, I would kill these 3 purple zombies, because the prize for killing them is another tablet of talisman of rebirth. But because I have my talisman, I'm not gonna bother doing that. So this area, we've been here before, but we haven't gone this way yet. If we had, we would know there's this tablet piece, and then we can open this door to move on. We lost someone. I guess it's okay. So yeah, I put in the tablet pieces and it activates the twin snake statue, which opens up these portals. And now we're back in Hayabusa Village. So yeah, the game goes everywhere that you've been. The only place you can't revisit is the airship. So if you miss something in the airship, it's gone forever. So one of the cool things about Hayabusa Village, so it's not fixed yet, which is sad, but one of the cool things about Hayabusa Village is if you explored around at all and you come up here to the graveyard, you would see the stone circle like here. There's actually another stone circle here as well. Now this grave is actually someone who we didn't get to see at all because we skipped the cutscene, but is the priestess of the village and Ryu's childhood friend. She has a talisman that gets put into the hilt of the dragon sword to turn it into the true dragon sword, which you can like kind of see. It has like this like glow to it now. That's because it is now the true dragon sword, and it's a very, very powerful weapon. One of the most powerful weapons in the game. In fact, there's really only 2 weapons that kind of compete with it. which would be the Dark Dragon Blade and the Unlabored Flawlessness. So here we have Alma again, which Alma is just as annoying in this version as she is in her previous version, except she does a ton more damage, has a lot more health, and her attacks are a lot worse. You can see like how much damage that grab did. Also, I can't Inferno Loop her like I could the first Alma. So our strategy is to kind of Flying Swallow and pray. Try not to get grabbed by her too much. And then Gleaming. If I get her near me again, like after I Gleam, then I can go for a second Gleam to knock her down real quick. But it's not guaranteed, but it does. It is nice when it works because it does a lot of damage. So see how she's like hyper armoring all of these. Like there's nothing I can do about that. It's literally just chance whether or not she gets knocked down. And she can go like that indefinitely. So she's very mean. But someone saying Rachel % in in the chat. Yeah, you can shoot Rachel if you want with the bow, and that'll kill her and give you a game over. There's actually an earlier spot you can do that. You can do that in the Doku fight as well. It's kind of a meme. So I'm gonna pick this up. So yeah, Alma wasn't the worst. She can be a lot worse. She can just block indefinitely, but wasn't great either. So now we have Pillbugs. These guys are a super annoying enemy. They jump at you. They do these crazy grabs. They do quite a bit of damage for being such little guys. So I'm just going to try to Inazuma spam them. And hopefully I get a lot of red essence so that I can use a Hada Nimpo. Oh, I didn't want to. Actually, that's fine. So yeah, that's the first wave down. What I could have done there is I could have charged the UT. I killed them all for a lot of money, but it's totally fine. I think I'm okay on money and items right now anyways, with having the talisman especially, because that's really the only thing I would want to buy. So as long as I can just Inazuma spam them, I'm pretty set. So I just want to wait like a couple seconds after they spawn before I try to do anything, so that way I can hit as many as possible. Hitting only one there is kind of lame. Alright, that went pretty good. I don't want to use too many of my my devil elixirs, because I need them for chapter 15. But yeah, that's chapter 13. There are 16 chapters in this game, by the way. The next chapter is pretty short, and the chapter after that is the longest chapter in the game. So one of the things I want to make sure is I don't forget the statue. A couple people memed about it. Yeah, forgetting statues, not good. You need all of the statues. There are 4 of them. Technically 5. There are 4 of them around in the game, though. The 5th one is right where it needs to be, and you can't miss it. In fact, there's only 2 statues you can technically miss, which is the one I just picked up, and the first statue I picked up. So here we got a glimpse of this blue spirit. We actually saw him when we defeated Doku, for if you watched that whole cutscene. That's Spirit Doku. So we're still chasing after Doku. We haven't finished getting our revenge. But first we have to get to him. And to do that, we need to go through Marbus. Or at least a trial that Marbus has set up for us. Which we kind of just beat by shooting a bunch of lightning. Nice, getting an impo drops, like, not really important, because there's not really any other spots that I want to use in Azuma, but having the option to is good safety. So we just try to pick up as many yellows as we can there. So here I need to make sure that I buy arrows. I want to be max on all my arrows, and then I can use whatever's left for healing. And elixirs of the Devil Way. There are a lot of great spirit elixirs, so I'm not too worried about buying those. Having as many different healings as I possibly can is the best. Oh, is my... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize my notifications were still on. I thought I turned that off. That's my fault. Oh, let me turn that off real quick, actually. Sorry about that. So these are ghost fish. They're some of the most annoying enemies in the game. But we can on landing jump to get past them. So we're going to try to on landing jump through them as much as we possibly can. If we mess up the movement, they can grab you. If they stagger their grab, like if one grabs you, releases, and then another grabs you, they could just kill you. Because they can just keep doing that if there's enough of them around. So they are a very, very scary enemy. And you see the big thing that spawned in, that's a crab. I mentioned those earlier. A very, very annoying enemy. They shoot lasers. They have this obnoxious grab. They do a lot of damage and have a lot of health. Do not want to deal with them as much as possible. So here it's kind of like tight movement to get through these ghost fish. That was pretty good, actually. If you can do all on landing jumps, like wall running is fine too, like for safety and stuff, but if you can do all on landing jumps, that's the fastest way to get through them. There, I'm just gonna wall run to guarantee that I get through. Here, it's a little more difficult to do the on landings, so do the wall runs, guarantee that I get through. I'm gonna grab a healing up here, and I'm actually gonna heal the full even. Yeah. And then grab the save point, because we're gonna fight Spirit Doku. I was kind of like debating whether or not I wanted to wait to heal. That's okay, I got the blue anyways. So yeah, crab and the ghost fish there are scary. So Spirit Doku, we're just gonna try to gleaming blade him a lot. I kind of want to just run away from him here, wait for him to do that move, charge at me, and then gleaming blade as soon as he gets into range. Try to avoid his projectile attacks. Okay, yeah. Just gonna make sure I don't lose my talisman. Okay, that's fine. He was actually pretty nice. Sometimes he can not charge. The fastest strat is actually try to stay close to him as much as possible. But after every gleam, he will almost always throw his sword. So it's not even all that much faster, to be honest, because he can still give you really bad patterns. So I just decided to do the safety strat for Marathon though. And now we're at chapter 15. This is a very long chapter. It's about 12 minutes long. And the enemies here are numerous and strong, and we're just gonna melt them with Inazuma. That's pretty much what we're gonna do, which is what we've been building our Nimpo and our items up to being able to do. In between each level of this tower as well, which we'll see the tower in just a second, there's ghost fish, so they don't go away. Ghost fish are here to stay. No one likes ghost fish. So here's an introduction to the core of the Imperial Palace. I call it the Tower of Terror because it looks scary with all these skulls and stuff, you know. It's pretty intimidating. So we gotta open this door. Ayane is going to go off on this speech, but we're not going to listen to her. We ain't got time for that. So I'm going to use another Jewel of the Demon Seal. So I picked 2 of these up, and I haven't mentioned them yet. What they do is they upgrade my my Nimpo. So Inazuma level 3 will pretty much one-shot almost everything except for crabs. Sometimes it won't automatically kill like the dinos, which is very annoying, but usually they're just like 1 hit away if that happens. So I just run up and hit smack him a little bit, and that'll take care of him. Oh, where'd the other one go? Oh, he's all the way over there. I want this red. Alright, so even with 4 Nimpo, I still want to get as many red drops as possible. That'll reduce the amount of times I have to use my items and make sure that I have enough items to get through the rest. I need 3 Nimpo for the final 2 bosses. So my goal is to make sure that I have enough Nimpo at that point. So here we have dinos along with pill bugs. Just gonna kind of... Oh. I don't like that he lived. That's very not cool. So I'm trying to just like get as close to the dinos as I possibly can. Oh, and he gave me a red, which is really good. I want that. Because they're the ones that I want to make sure that die the most. Another red, which is good. There's a lot of pill bugs still alive though, so. And there's one more. Thank you, Karma Timer, for telling me. Alright, so. Okay, thank you, Ryu, very cool. Getting through there with no Nimpo left over is not the biggest deal. Not having to use any of my double elixirs for the first 2 floors though is very nice. I can almost guarantee that with having the 1 extra Nimpo, which is why the dupe is really strong. So here, I just kind of want to position myself like right here. This will like usually guarantee that I kill everything in the room without even having to really do much. Except when that guy, I'm not sure why he spawned back there, but that's okay. He dies very quickly. And yeah, getting some more Nimpo. Awesome. Very good. We like that. I tried to kill the ghost fish there to see if I could get another red essence. I did not, which is fine. So like I said, the crabs won't get one shot, but they'll get two shot. Except when they scuttle behind the pillar. That's very annoying. I hate when he does that. Alright, I don't want him to go underground or grab me. Yeah. But, alright, not too bad. So I'm pretty good on Nimpo, only having to really use one Devil Elixir is pretty ideal. Alright, I'm going to save here because this is a gauntlet. There's going to be 4 waves. We're going to be introduced to Marbus a little bit more intimately now. He's going to be sitting there summoning all these fiends at us. So we're just going to have to try to clear wave after wave until we fight him. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to spam Inazuma. So if everyone's surprised. And pray for red drops. I didn't get any in the first wave. Totally fine. I have plenty of Devil Elixirs, like I said. I just want to make sure that for Marbus himself and the boss after him, I have 3 Nimpo total. So here we're going to Gleaming Blade, and this Hydrocubus has like a ton of health, so that's why it doesn't look like Gleaming Blade does all that much damage, but it is doing a lot of damage. If you look, you can kind of see like the difference between like a UT Gleam and like a normal Gleam. It almost does like 50% more damage. The reason I charge an ET there as well is if I get that, like if I get the ET off, I automatically take one of the tentacles. So that's pretty good. But yeah, that's the last Hydrocubus we will see in this run, luckily. This is a very annoying boss. I hate that he like gets iframes whenever he has his tentacles out. Yeah, we're not as weak as you thought, Marbus. We're pretty strong. Here, Marbus is going to also shoot fireballs at us as we go. That's fine. We kind of just ignore them. Like I said, Nimpo gives us iframes. So we use those iframes to just avoid everything. I'm looking around to see if any of these guys will drop a red. No, red's totally fine as well. I actually have a ton of Nimpo available to me. So that makes me want to do an alternate strat. Normally we just equip Lunar here, but I'm going to go ahead and equip Fire Wheels as well. So like I said, this boss does a lot of damage. You remember this is Jotunfrau? Yeah, she does a lot of damage. She hurts very much. If she grabs me, that's pretty much a guarantee that I'll lose my talisman if I'm like at anything less than full health. But just like before, we kind of just melt her. So I'm going to swap back to Inazuma and the True Dragon Sword. So Marbus is a pretty cool fight. He flies around. He summons Shadow Fiends. He throws fireballs. What I want him to do is bats. And then I want him to kind of like do this dive bomb. I want him to throw fireballs, but if he doesn't do the follow-up that I want afterwards, it's bad. And I want to try to kill these as quickly as possible as well. Okay, there we go. We got the follow-up. So this is where the fight gets interesting. So as long as I do this combo string, Marbus will do nothing. He's just in a stun lock. And he'll take all this damage until he's dead. So the combo for that is XXXY. Once he gets low enough, then I can just do double gleam to finish him off. This is the final statue. Like I said, this one you can't miss. This is the demon statue. Or one of the ones you can't miss anyway. And this is going to open up the final area. So I'm going to go ahead and do some equips. And we are all set to go for the second to last boss of the speedrun. See, how are we looking on time? Oh, we're looking amazing on time. Awesome. I'm gonna save here as well. This boss can be kind of funny. There is one pattern it can give me that is pretty much a run killer, to be honest. So we're just trying to on landing jump at an angle as much as we possibly can up these stairs. Try to get up them as quickly as we can. It's actually kind of tough, like took a lot of practice to get that right. So yeah, this is the Holy Vigor Emperor. We think that the opener is not good because I wasn't low enough. So what I'm trying to do is hit the chest and the arms as much as like I possibly can, if I can hit both. When she does those lasers though, there's like an invisible wall that comes up in the front. So I have to like avoid that while trying to avoid the lasers at the same time. But yeah, this is basically just gleam spam. Try to position yourself to get close enough to the vulnerable parts. So here I am actually going to heal because I have enough healing. And then this is the second part. We're just trying to destroy as many of these skulls as we possibly can. At some points, he's gonna start throwing skulls at us, and then we're just gonna try to fire wheels so that the skulls blow up as they get close to us. And then we're gonna charge a gleaming blade, so when he brings his skull down, we can do a lot of damage to him. I was kind of hoping he would jump at me so I could do a really funny strat, but we'll have to do that another time. Yeah, this is just shoot the skulls until he's dead. And that's Holy Vigor Emperor. So that's chapter 15. We have one more chapter, one more boss fight. So yeah, the chapter was about 13 minutes long, which is not too bad for RTA. 12 minutes 22 seconds IGT is okay. I can kind of gauge like what the RTA is based off the in-game time. It's not 100% get consistent, but which is why we don't actually base the run off of in-game time, but you can approximate. Yeah, but having our talisman through this part is very nice. And I definitely want to save here because if I fall in the lava, I'm dead. Like that's it. So you have to be very precise with your platforming here. That was really scary. Otherwise, you just kill your run. But saving makes it so that I can just redo it if I need to. Alright, we made it to this part. So I don't have to do this platforming again, even if Mirai kills me. So time is when Mirai's health dies. So I'm going to be focusing on the fight a lot. and I'll just call time when he's dead. Oh, surprise, surprise, everyone. The main villain is Mariah, the guy who trained us at the start. This is fine, I have my talisman. Should be dead soon. Time. Yeah, so pretty good on this one, I think, right? If it's alright, I'd like to watch this cutscene. I think it's pretty epic. Get to see all the characters that we didn't get to see before. There's Ayane, Rachel. Have this tender moment, and then Ryu's just like, nah, pieces out.
It's over.
One of the things that makes me so mad, though, is this. He turns into a falcon. Where was that when I was doing all that jumping around? Why couldn't he just turn into a falcon and get up the platforms? It's very... Anyway, that's Ninja Gaiden Black. Really cool game. I think it's the best game ever, personally. I also run Dark Souls 3 as well on my stream, so if you want to check that out for free. Thank you very much for hosting me, by the way, Powerhouse. You guys are awesome. The run was very fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Razor, for going through that game as fast as you did. I remember playing Ninja Gaiden Black back in the day. I could barely get past like the third or fourth stage, so definitely, definitely making me look like trash. But thank you so much. But that was a great run.
Yeah, like I said, thanks for having me. 155 honestly is better than what I thought I was gonna do for this. I thought I would still be like close to 2 hours, but yeah, being under 2 hours is pretty good.
Well, GG, man. Coming up next, we have the run I think I've been most excited for since we actually got there. Is Kefka coming back in for a second time with the classic, the meme-worthy Sneak King. So definitely hang around. We want to thank everyone again for all the donations. Y'all have been the best, helping out direct relief with COVID-19 relief, basically. And yeah, we're almost there. So thanks, everybody. We'll be right back.